Hey, Farhan here. I'm in my apartment. It's snowing like crazy outside here in Toronto, Canada. Recently, I published a video on YouTube called How I Doubled My Testosterone. So if you haven't seen that video, this is part 2 of that video. We got a lot of questions from people, really good questions and really relevant questions to people's health and motivation. And so I wanted to address the main 3 questions that people asked in this video. So this is part 2 of that video. If you haven't seen that video, please go watch that first. It is phenomenal. In that video, I show you how I doubled my testosterone. I talk about not only total testosterone, but free testosterone and bioavailable testosterone. A lot of men don't know what these terms mean, and they could be very helpful to your testosterone levels, your health, your well-being. So if you are unaware of blood tests, blood test results, what these terms mean, how to do calculations, how to convert one unit of measure into another, that video contains all of that. I walk you through all of my blood test results, not just total testosterone, but we calculate free and bioavailable testosterone. It's a really good video, a lot of great feedback, and a lot of people have benefited from that. So in the description below, I will post a link to that video. So if you haven't seen that yet, watch that before you watch this one. In this video, I will address those 3 main questions that have been asked in the comments, as well as in the emails that I received, as well as in Instagram. In terms of the comments on Instagram and the direct messages I received there. So let's go through that. Now, before I go to the 3 questions, I just want to show you my before and after in terms of my total testosterone, my free testosterone, as well as my bioavailable testosterone, and how each of these 3 measures have doubled in the last 3 years. So the main questions people ask is, Farhan, it took you 3 years to double your testosterone. Well, I don't have 3 years. Can I boost my testosterone quicker? Maybe not double it, but can I increase it by 200 points, 100 points, 50 points? And how do I do that? So that is the first question. Just to read it, it is, how long will it take to boost my testosterone? It's in terms of time frame, right? So if you look at my results, my testosterone doubled from 376 to 738 in 3 years. But maybe you want to boost it in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months. So let me answer that question first. Now, I want to cover 4 major topics to answer this question. So the topics are genetics, age, optimization, and blood testing frequency. Now, before I address these 4 subtopics, let me show you my blood test results that I did in March. Okay, so I was in Montreal in March, and here is what my total testosterone looks like from March of 2017. Okay, so you see it's about 19 nanomoles per liter. Now, if you're not aware of how to calculate nanomoles per liter into nanograms per deciliter, which is what you're probably used to looking at, then I showed you how to do that in the previous video in part 1. So in this video, what I want to show you is that, look, in March of 2017, my total testosterone was 19.05 nanomoles per liter, or 549 nanograms per deciliter. And that went up almost 200 points when I did my test results in December of 2017 to 25.6 nanomoles per liter. So it was a jump from 19.05 to 25.6 nanomoles per liter. And in terms of nanograms per deciliter, the jump was from 549 to 738. So it was almost a 200-point jump in a matter of 8.5 months. And that translates into almost a 35% increase in total testosterone. So in a matter of 9 months, 8.5 months, I was able to increase my testosterone by 200 points almost, which is fantastic. So in terms of evidence and proof, this is what I have for me. Okay, now I will address 4 very important points that you should keep in mind when you are thinking about boosting your testosterone and you don't want it to take 3 years. So let me run over those next. So the first thing I want to talk about is genetics. So if you go to our RIM page, RIM is Reclaim Your Masculinity. It is the comprehensive video course that I have available for you. That is the same video course, as well as there's an audiobook, there's ebooks, there's bonuses. That is what I've been following strictly for the last 3 years. There is a meat-based meal plan, there is a plant-based meal plan, whatever you personally would like to follow. And there's also meal prep, so exactly how to cook these foods, how to do the grocery shopping, what is exactly on the grocery list that you need to go and buy from the grocery store. So all of those details are given in RIM. So I urge you to check that out. If you go in the description below, there is a link to RIM, Reclaim Your Masculinity, RYM. Now, in RIM, when you watch the video, on that page, you will see a lot of testimonials. And you will notice that the guys in that video come from a very diverse range of backgrounds. Why? Because different people have different genetics, and the ability to boost testosterone naturally will depend on your genetics. Some people have different conditions that don't allow them to increase their testosterone. For example, let's say you have a nutrient deficiency. You are deficient in magnesium or vitamin D or zinc. All of these nutrients are crucial for boosting testosterone. So if you were to cure or alleviate this deficient condition, then you will be able to boost your testosterone way faster than someone else. So that is also a very big condition when it comes to boosting your testosterone. So make sure you keep genetics in mind. Now, besides the testimonials you see on the page where you see Reclaim Your Masculinity, you also receive testimonials when I send you emails. So I send you emails almost every day. And in those emails, I try to post the reviews and testimonials from guys who have actually been through our video courses and have read our audiobooks. And that is more evidence to people who've actually used this and it has worked really, really well for them. So make sure you read those testimonials to understand that better. There are also testimonials on the page itself, not just video testimonials, but text testimonials. You also see a lot of that in Instagram comments, in YouTube comments when people talk about how our programs have helped them. So if you're not following us on Instagram, go ahead and do so at Doc Testosterone, and you will learn tons on that page as well. In terms of engagement and me responding to your questions and comments, I do a lot of that on our Facebook group called Biggest Balls in the Game, Balls with a Z. There's a lot of engagement on that. A lot of guys on that page have benefited from our programs, especially RIM, Reclaim Your Masculinity. So make sure you apply to get on that page. It is a private Facebook group, and I would love for you to be on that page and provide you as much value as I can. So that is the first aspect, genetics. Let's go into the second one, age. Now, the older you get, the harder it will be for you to boost testosterone. That is the case with almost everything. So I am now almost 36 years old. I turned 36 January 20th of this year. Okay, so a couple of weeks or less than 2 weeks, I turned 36. I'm an old grandpa now. So for me, if it takes 9 months to increase my testosterone points by 200, if you're 25, if you're 21, if you're 18, it might take you less. But then again, if you take genetics into account, you might be much older than me and you may be able to boost your testosterone way faster than me. Okay, so what I mean is it depends on you. It depends on your genetics and it depends on your age as well. The third thing I want to address is optimization. So if you look at me, in the last 9 months, a lot of shit happened. A lot of depression happened, a lot of anxiety happened. There was a huge increase in my cortisol around the time when I was depressed. As you know, I left YouTube. I moved to Colombia. I was there for a couple of months. Then I lived in Manhattan and Brooklyn. Then I came to Toronto, and I've been here for 6 months. When I was in Colombia, the YouTube channel got deleted. There's a big problem, and I was super, super depressed. And you can see all that in my videos from Colombia. But my exit from YouTube, and then I came back to YouTube because then I was less depressed and I was actually able to make videos again. All of that probably decreased my testosterone quite a bit. So when you see that it took 9 months for me to increase my testosterone by 200 points, it was probably way less than that. Maybe it was 4 months, maybe it was 3 months. I don't know. And I don't have any evidence to show you. It's just my hypothesis, so I'm just telling you straight up, that's the case. You want to, during the time you're boosting testosterone, optimize everything. I didn't from the time I took my blood test in March and then again when I took it in December. It was not optimal for those 9 months. However, for the last 5 to 6 months, I've eaten very clean. I followed to the T the compound exercises, the full body movement exercises that are in Reclaim Your Masculinity. I have slept well. I have had very low stress. I have removed toxins from my environment. I've been on a very plant-based, strict diet. So a lot of these things had to do with the 200-point increase in testosterone. So for you, if you optimize and you learn from my mistakes and you follow the refined program that is up to date, then you will be able to boost your testosterone way faster than I did. That is my contention, that is my hypothesis, and I am confident, and our whole team is confident, that our program is the best out there. So again, try that shit. The fourth thing I want to talk about is blood testing frequency. Now, I didn't test my blood every month or every week or every 2 months. I tested it almost every year. So when I did my blood test in March and then again in December, it is possible that if I would have tested my blood during that time, so let's say every month, but that's usually not easy. It's not practical because you have to pay a lot for some of these tests, especially bioavailable and free testosterone, depending on the blood center you're with. And you have to sometimes get requisitions from your family doctor. And my family doctor, she's not just gonna hand me out a requisition every month for my blood test. And usually, for diet and exercise and a change of lifestyle to actually show up in your test results in a significant manner, it's gonna take more than a few months. So what I recommend is that any plan you do, be it mine or anyone else's, to boost your testosterone, get your blood test done every 6 months to see if it made a difference. Okay, so these are the 4 subtopics that I wanted to cover in terms of how fast can you increase your testosterone. Now let's go on to question number 2. So question number 2 revolves around, why don't I just take a pill or injection rather than boosting testosterone naturally? Why not go the easy route, like a lot of people do? So the way I want to cover this answer is in 2 parts. The first one is, let's talk about the testosterone synthetic injections and gels and pills that are out there to boost testosterone or that claim to boost it. And the second part of this question will revolve around herbs, because both of these come up a lot in the emails that we receive. So the first one is about injections. Now, the technology of testosterone injections becomes better and better every year. The thing is, there are multiple ways to take these synthetic injections. Now, what they do to your body is that they stop the production of natural testosterone. Why? So first you have to understand the physiology and the anatomy of how testosterone is synthesized. It starts with the brain. So in the brain, there is a part known as the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus releases something known as GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. That hormone travels to the pituitary gland, which releases LH, luteinizing hormone. So the way it works is a neurotransmitter or a hormone travels from one cell or one area of the brain to the next. So in this case, GnRH from the hypothalamus will travel from a neuron in the hypothalamus to a neuron in the pituitary gland. Now there, when it binds, it'll bind to a receptor of GnRH, okay? And that area, the pituitary gland, will release luteinizing hormone, or LH. And then LH will travel all the way to the testes, and in the testes, there's these cells called the Leydig cells, which have a luteinizing hormone receptor, an LH receptor. So luteinizing hormone that came from the pituitary gland will now bind to a Leydig cell, which has an LH receptor, and that Leydig cell in the testes will produce testosterone, will synthesize testosterone. Now, if you inject testosterone in your body, if you take androgel, for example, which is a gel that you put all over your chest, all over your body, or if you take a testosterone injection in which you are injecting testosterone into your body, if you do that, your body will stop the natural production of testosterone. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of nuance here, a little bit of caveat, so you understand that it's not always the case, and why. Now, first, why would your body stop producing testosterone naturally? Because it is a negative feedback loop. What the hell does that mean? The way it works is, if you have this three-stage process, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, testes, right? HPT axis, it's called. If the axis is working to produce testosterone naturally all the time, but now you're getting testosterone injected into your body, there's a negative feedback that travels upstream and the natural production decreases. So as the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus gets this signal that this body already has now testosterone because it's being injected, there's a signal sent upstream, and the rest of this axis will stop producing the hormones that are needed for producing testosterone. Does that make sense? So that is how negative feedback works. Now, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, the technology for testosterone injections is becoming better and better every year. So now what you can do is cycle. So you take testosterone injection for a couple of weeks or a month, and then you stop taking those testosterone injections, and you are doing something known as PCT, post-cycle therapy, in which you inject other hormones that don't stop the production of testosterone naturally. So they keep this axis intact. Now, sure, this is theory. What happens in practical life? So I will tell you, my friends who are on testosterone therapy, who are doing testosterone injections, how they feel. So one of my friends, again, this is anecdotal and this is one person, told me that when he is on testosterone therapy, when he's doing the injections, that 1 month or those 2 weeks, he feels like Superman. He feels like he is now a young kid again, like a 16-year-old, and he feels just amazing energy, amazing libido. He just wants to fuck everything. Now, when he's on PCT, post-cycle therapy, his libido goes to shit. He doesn't have very high energy anymore. So he experiences this up and down effect. And another thing that he told me that happened with him is that his estrogen also increased when he went on hormone replacement therapy, which a lot of guys do, and that happens for a lot of guys. So I just wanted to tell you the practical aspects of testosterone injections and why I personally would never take them, because I don't want to go a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even a minute in which I feel very low energy or I don't have any libido or I feel like shit. I can't live like that. So now I personally would never go on any kind of testosterone injections or any kind of hormone replacement therapy. Maybe when I'm like 80 years old, I might do it, or 70 years old, I might do it. But right now, in the next 10, 20, 30 years, I would never go on it. Why? Because now I become dependent on it. Right? It's just like taking any pill for erections, like Viagra or Cialis or any of those. Now, it's not a judgment that I'm making that you shouldn't do this or it's bad. I personally don't want to depend on something for an outcome that is related to my health. Okay? So that is my take on testosterone injections. And if you have any more questions, comment below. I will tell you whatever I know about it. Now, let me add a little caveat when it comes to herbs. This is the second part of the question. Now, there are some natural herbs out there that I am about to try out, right? I am looking for companies for my own formulations of natural herbs. These are parts of plants, leaves, barks, flowers, that have evolved over billions of years. So I am willing to try out something that nature has produced for our well-being. Something that's plant-based, something that's vegan, something that's natural, something that's organic, something that's sourced well, manufactured well, and is extracted in a very pure manner. I am looking for that at the moment. I highly recommend that for you. And once I find the company that is perfect for that, I will tell you what that company is, because I will begin trying it myself, and I will report to you how I feel, how my physiology changes with this herb, whenever that happens. And if you want to know exactly day to day, how I'm trying different things, the foods I eat, again, follow me on Instagram at Doc Testosterone, and you can see my stories and see what the hell I'm doing day to day in terms of boosting testosterone, my nutrition, my interviews, my quotes, the books I'm reading, a lot of good stuff that I'm doing day to day that could benefit your life. Now, back to the herb. I urge you to ask questions or comment below. What is your experience with natural herbs? Have they helped you in terms of libido, erection quality, premature ejaculation? Again, that's not a disease, right? This is very media-oriented question. Premature ejaculation, it's not a disease. If you want to learn more about premature ejaculation and why it's not a disease and all the topics surrounding this subject, go watch my Fridays with Farhan episode 11, and I believe I covered a little bit of that in episode 10 as well. So go watch that. Now, that is what I wanted to say about herbs, and that is my answer to the question, should you go natural or take a pill? Okay? The last thing I want to end with when it comes to herbs, and before I move on to question number 3, is this. You know, when you work out and you take things like creatine, working out is necessary. Right? Eating healthy is necessary. Having great sleep and recovery and rest is necessary. But you take creatine to increase your strength a little bit, right? To give you that edge, to give you that bonus, that killer instinct. Same thing with natural herbs. You still need to eat healthy and sleep well and rest and exercise and lift heavy weights. You still need to do all that. But the herb can be that killer instinct, give you that edge, give you that killer instinct, give you that bonus when you really, really need it. And that's what I'm looking for. All right, let's go on to question number 3. This is a fantastic question because it revolves around the idea of testosterone being an epiphenomenon, an emerging factor from having good health. And I totally believe in that. What do I mean? All right. A lot of you want to boost testosterone because of some buzzword you heard, testosterone. Oh, if I have high testosterone, I will look like a beast. That should not be your mentality. If that's your mentality, I don't know what to tell you. Think of testosterone as a tool or a measurement of your health. Okay? So the key is to eat healthy. The key is to move and exercise and feel your body and the blood flow going through your body when you're lifting weights or when you're sprinting. The key is to sleep well and wake up fresh. And when you go to sleep at night, you don't have high anxiety or stress. You're chill. You're tranquilo. That's the key. The key is to have high energy day to day. The key is to have fantastic sexual health when it comes to libido and erection quality and stamina and endurance. These are emphasized in our content because these are metrics that you can use to determine if you have good health. So when I look at my testosterone, I show you how I've doubled it or how I've increased it by 200 points. It is to show you that there is evidence of a measurement, of a number. There's scientific proof that shows how what I feel inside in terms of increasing my health and well-being from the inside out is actually showing up as a number on a sheet of paper in a blood test. So that is what I want you to remember. If you eat healthy, if you have low stress, if you sleep well, if you exercise well, your testosterone will increase because of all those things. It's not that you're boosting your testosterone just for this T word. No, no, no. Your testosterone will increase because you're living healthy. Your sexual health will increase because you're living healthy. Your boners will be better because you're living healthy. You're gonna have high libido because you're living healthy. You're gonna have high energy because you're living healthy. So focus on yourself. Focus on what you're eating, how you're moving, how you're sleeping, how you are removing toxins from the environment. You're fasting, right? Intermittent fasting is a huge part of what we teach. So I urge you to not just think testosterone because bro or sis. Testosterone is not the end. There's dopamine, there's serotonin, there's adrenaline, there's oxytocin, there's a dozen other neurotransmitters and hormones that we care about. Cortisol, insulin, growth hormone. There's a lot of stuff out there. But we are looking at it from a health perspective. So when you increase your health and well-being and how you feel day to day, then all of those things will be taken care of. Okay? So don't look for a magic pill. Don't stress over your testosterone number. Try to increase it as much as you can. Okay? So, just to summarize, question number 1 was about how fast can you boost it? I believe that depending on your genetics, your age, your optimization, how well you follow RIM, you can boost your testosterone by about 200 points in a matter of months. I believe that. Okay? The second question was about injections versus herbs and going naturally. I personally would go natural just because of the risk and side effects of injections. And if you want the killer instinct, that bonus, herbs are amazing. And we will prove that in the coming months because I will start taking them myself. And number 3, I urge you again, focus on your health. Focus on how you feel, focus on your energy levels, focus on your sexual health. Because these are indicators that you are boosting your testosterone. Look for these signs. And that is how you will be able to be happy and live well and live long. Okay? This is Farhan. Thanks for listening. I really, really love making these videos. If you have any suggestions for future videos that I should make that pertain to your health and well-being, something actionable, something practical, I would love to make those for you. Please comment below. And again, I read every single one of the comments that you post, every single one of them. I may not reply to every single one, but I have it right here in the cabeza. And I write down a list of all the videos that I need to make to answer your questions. So they will happen in the future, don't worry. Okay? Also, give a thumbs up if you like the video. And subscribe to the channel if you want to get further notifications of future videos. And share this with your friends if you believe they can also benefit. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Amazing snowy day in Toronto. I'm signing out. This is Farhan. I will see you soon and have an amazing, badass day.